Hello, this is a short video on how you can utilize Writable to have students respond to the writing prompts inside of Into Reading and Into Literature. Right now I happen to be in 5th grade Into Reading, but the same goes for Into Literature. Just the platform, as you know, looks a little different. Right now I'm at a week at a glance, and when I'm in week at a glance, I can identify in the reading section where you will see response to writing. See, here's engage and respond. It's write a response. I can see this is when I have to do some writing. There's a different engage and respond for each day. It all depends. Here's another writing one. So if I go, say I'm looking at lesson 19, I want to see what is that write a response students will have to do. So I can come over to lesson 19, to author's craft. That's the skill. And here is the 3-step process for the shared reading. And I say write a response. So then if I then open this up in the Teaching Pal or the My Book to see what is that prompt they're asking them to do, here is that write a response, asking about what evidence can scientists use to predict earthquakes. Students can complete that here in their My Book, but if you go into Writable, they'll see it as well. So example, here we are in that same story. If I preview it as a student, is what evidence can scientists do to predict earthquakes? It's the same exact prompt. They'll actually have the story populate next to them. They can read it out loud to them, turn the highlights on, all the same things they'll be able to do outside of maybe the annotations, but everything you'll be able to do inside the My Book. Students can write their evidence and then actually write their prompt. And this could be pushed into Writable, where it will help you with some of the storing through AI, and then you'll be able to see progress over time in the data reports inside Writable for how students are doing in these writing prompts. The way I found this is here. This is 5th grade, Module 3, Lesson 9. In Writable, I always click Explore. And it might look a little different for you because you might not have access to everything I have access to. But in Explore, I have to make sure I pick the right grade band. I have elementary, middle, and high. So in this case, I'm picking elementary because it's 5th grade. You might not have to do that. But once I'm in the right grade band, I come down to HMH curriculum. Here, again, I have to pick on the right grade. This was 5th grade. I don't know if you have to pick the grade. You might not have to. You might have only access to your grade. But once I select the grade, here's all the modules. Module 1, Module 2, Module 3. Here was the module we're in. This was the story. I open it up, and this was the prompts that we just saw. So this is how you could utilize Writable to have students respond to some of those writing responses that they're expected to do inside of Into Reading, Into Literature. Again, this was an Into Reading example. Into Literature does the same thing. The platform just looks a little different. Please know there are other options inside Writable that you can utilize. There are skills practices. So if you're working on a certain prompt for this module, here's ways that you can click on. Say it was argumentative, you could click on it. And here are the different skills, mini lessons. How do you craft an opinion statements? How do you do a hook? Introduction paragraph, conclusion paragraph. They can actually work on skills for building up to that writing prompt. Or if you're seeing there's a weakness when looking at data, here are skills you can assign. There's other things here, short responses you can use. When you click on state assessments, this is where you can come in and find Ohio. Just click more. And there's Ohio. You can get Ohio writing prompts in the practice. One thing I do want to note when you're in the curriculum portion, so if I'm back in 5th grade, I'm done in Module 2, these are all attached to the selections. The last one here, write an opinion essay, that is the performance task for this module. So you can open that up, and this is the performance task for Module 3 for 5th grade. Again, that would be found inside the lesson. You will find that for Into Reading, it's lesson 15. Here's the opinion essay. So here's the lesson plan you would use over the course. So it might take more than one day. You could use this during your spiral week. But to actually have them do some of the actual writing inside a platform, you could use Writable, because this is that essay. Again, this is true for into literature as well. So you can use Writable as a platform from those response in writing, in part of the different selections. It's also good for the performance task, end of unit performance task in both into reading and into literature, and for the use of those skills to help build the skills for the larger performance task, or even connections to Ohio State writing tests. So please work to utilize Writable. When you do, you can look in the report section, and we'll get into this. There are lots of reports that you can use: proficiency reports, usage reports, growth reports. You can see how your students are doing over time, what areas of skills they need work on, and what usage. But we will look at this as we move forward. Let's see if I can do a quick demonstration, if I can find something for you. This is not the best example, but here you actually get a report of how students are doing in each of the skills. And then you can actually group students. So I'm not going to actually waste time. So you can come in here and actually look at the reports. And it'll actually show you the skills, recommended assignments by group of students, by skill, they could embed in Writable. So I can click on here, here's argumentative, open it up. Here's some information they could work on. Here's some students that are below in this area. You hit take action. Here's many lessons that you can assign, things they can watch. So that's an advantage of doing things inside of Writable that help you with the scoring and actually group students for you and give you next steps. But we'll look at that further down the road. Right now, please look at your curriculum, identify where in your curriculum there are actual writing prompts, and then you can locate those inside of Writable and assign them through Writable to get students accessing that writing responses as it would through the OSTs, and it will allow you to access data on an ongoing basis. If you have any questions, please let me know. Hope you found this useful.